Welcome back to our channel, where we delve into the untold stories that history has tried to bury. Today, we're unraveling a painful chapter, the ongoing struggle of Mau Mau fighters who continue to suffer, uncompensated for the colonial torture they endured despite suing the British government. Brace yourselves for an eye-opening journey as we expose the dark reality behind the recent visit of King Charles to Kenya, shedding light on the bitter aftermath of the Mau Mau uprising. The Mau Mau uprising against British colonial rule in Kenya in the 1950s stands as one of the darkest chapters in Britain's imperial past. Thousands of Kenyans were killed, tortured, detained without trial, and grossly mistreated under draconian emergency laws imposed by the British. While Kenya eventually achieved independence in 1963, the victims of British abuses during the Mau Mau revolt went uncompensated for decades. Recent court cases have seen some justice, but far too little and late. The British government's paltry payouts and failure to fully reckon with the crimes committed in the Queen's name add insult to injury. During King Charles' visit to Kenya, he spoke of Britain's painful past, but his words rang hollow to survivors still seeking meaningful justice. The brutal British response to the Mau Mau was unrestrained. British troops set villages ablaze and slaughtered men, women, and children. Up to 320,000 Kenyans were forced into detention camps, where they faced horrific abuses like castration, flogging, rape, and torture. The colonial government executed over 1,000 by hanging. Yet the official British figure lists only 11,000 Mau Mau killed compared to just 32 white settlers, exposing the grotesque devaluation of African lives. The full death toll was likely over 25,000. David Anderson, professor of African politics at Oxford University, described the period as systematic murder amounting to getting away with murder. In 2013, after years of denying responsibility, Britain paid out a paltry £19.9 million in compensation to just over 5,000 victims. A seemingly generous £19.9 million payout was declared as full and final settlement. However, the truth reveals a more sinister narrative. While an important recognition of British culpability, this settlement excluded many deserving survivors based on arbitrary cutoffs. It was far short of a full reckoning. These heroes, like General Bahati and his wife Agnes Muthoni, continued to live in the shadows post-independence. Even after the Mau Mau was officially recognized as freedom fighters in 2003, the scars persisted, hidden from public view. The lawyers who secured the settlement criticized the British government for pinning liability on Kenya and rejecting living victims as too old, disregarding lasting scars. As one 90-year-old survivor, Agnes Muthoni put it, "The past is gone. Human beings forgive each other and continue living together. Yet true forgiveness requires contrition, not denial." Despite trying to close the book on the empire's abuses, Britain continues inflicting pain on the victims. Many endured castration at British hands, robbing them of descendants to carry their stories forward. Britain dumps the mess at Kenya's feet, rather than fund memorials honoring the struggle for freedom. The British settlement explicitly aimed to avoid setting precedent that might force confronting horrors across the empire, from the Amritsar massacre in India to the crushing of the Mau Mau. Sweeping crimes under the rug may be convenient for Britain, but it denigrates victims like Muthoni and 90,000 other Kenyans who faced detention, torture, rape, and death, resisting colonial rule. It denies them full justice. As we dissect the recent state visit by King Charles, we question the sincerity behind acknowledging painful aspects of the UK's colonial past. Does the visit bring closure, or is it just another chapter in the ongoing saga of betrayal? During King Charles' visit, he spoke of painful aspects of our past. But pretty words about regret and suffering mean nothing without accountability. Does this acknowledgement translate into justice for those who suffered under the colonial regime? The new monarch wants to have his cake and eat it too, gently scolding past wrongs while refusing proper restitution. This is mere performance without substance. If the British government truly wants to heal wounds from its colonial abuses, it must go beyond PR gestures. First, it must fund comprehensive research into the full extent of the empire's crimes as part of facing up to the bloody reality of conquest. Second, it must compensate all victims, not just a token few, including survivors, families of the killed, rape victims, and disrupted communities. Third, it should fund memorials and museums in Britain and Kenya documenting colonial atrocities and the human cost of fighting injustice. Words mean nothing without action. Until the British government owns up to its full role inflicting horrific suffering across its empire, any talk of regret rings hollow. The souls of hundreds of thousands of Kenyans tortured and slain under the British boot deserve better. True atonement begins with honestly reckoning with the past, not attempts to brush empire's sins under the rug. As we conclude this expose, we invite you to reflect on the bitter truth of the Mau Mau fighters, still awaiting justice. The scars of colonial torture persist, challenging the sincerity of apologies and settlements. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation alive. Remember, history is not just a story. It's a living reality for those still fighting for justice. Until next time, this is Next Gen Narratives.
We hope this was informative and entertaining for you. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share our videos. This will go far in helping us make better videos. Until next time, keep twitting and achieving your dreams. Don't let anything put you down. Bye for now.